In this episode of Chop and Brew, a really fun guided tasting of beers from Revolution Brewing Company out of Chicago with brewery rep Kaleigh Leingang. Plus, we look at the homebrew recipes included in the uber nerdy cover story I recently wrote about Revolution for Brew Your Own Magazine. Very proud of it. Find the link to that article with recipes in the video description. Don't forget, all Fitty and Chip episodes of Chop and Brew are brought to you with support from Imperial Yeast, whose limited edition lager strain, Huga, is just hitting homebrew shop shelves now for your lager brewing needs this winter. And our Patreon party people. Join the Chop and Brew revolution at patreon.com/chopandbrew. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Chop and Brew. We are in the basement of Thomas Liquors, a different backdrop.
Look at that. Isn't that really nice?
Not creepy at all. No. Basement backdrop. I'm here with Fitty as always, but who else is joining us?
Hey, I'm Kaleigh. I'm from Revolution Brewing out of Chicago.
That's awesome. Kaleigh's
Australia, they say Kaleigh.
Kaleigh.
That's my pet name for her.
Local rep for Revolution. And just so happens, old Chap Wilton over here just wrote a cover story for Brew Your Own Magazine about Revolution. They gave up the goods, y'all. I mean, you got to see this article. They gave us 5 clones. I wouldn't even call them clones. They are the recipes.
That's not
Clones are always like some dude in his basement trying to get there. These are brewery co-signed recipes for 5 beers. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but I really want to just pick the brain of our local rep and kind of come full circle. You know, I zoomed with Josh and Jim and Marty, kind of having this long distance interview, but let's talk in real time. And
we can cheer
in real time. Yes.
Feel like less talky,
cheers,
more
guys.
drinky.
Yeah, right. I've been looking at these poured beers for like 15 minutes, just with my tongue hanging out.
So we could do so many beers. We chose 3 to kind of walk through, 2 of which the recipes are available in the BYO. Yeah. We're starting with Imperial Anti-Hero, only because it's timely, very timely. But first, let's just talk real quick, like, what the hell does anti-hero mean to Revolution?
Anti-Hero is the OG. It is the beer that started the revolution, you can even say. So, a classic Midwest Coast hop for its time at that point, full of those lovely C hops. It's a very it's a beautiful, simple recipe. I was looking at it too, and I was like, they really spared no detail from you guys. So it's really fun to see just how much thought process goes into it and how simple it is. I was even surprised. The article had a few surprises even for me, that there's no crystal in this beer.
Okay.
There's not a lot of specialty malt that's going on in here.
Yeah, you said the C's. What is the hop build going on?
Yeah, so we got Centennial, Cascade, Chinook, and we got some Crystal. That's typically the one I miss because I always forget about good old Crystal. That beautiful amber color in there. The regular Anti-Hero is in the article, but it does get the Imperial treatment every year where we take it up a notch to about 10%. And in my opinion, it kind of tastes...
Beer number 1, 10%.
Yeah, right.
Starting strong. We're ending with like 14.9, so we're in for a ride.
Right?
Yes.
Good point.
But yeah, it's, it gets the Imperial treatment, goes up to 10%. It is still so much like the original beer, though, to me.
Okay.
It still has that, that dryness, that crispness to it that I really enjoy about Anti-Hero, all with the punch of 10%. So, one didn't feel right.
And you can notice that alcoholic intensity. I mean, it's not overly done, but noticeable.
What I found interesting, you were telling me ahead of time, was that this is kind of your not equivalent of a fresh hop beer, because you don't make a fresh hop beer per se for package, for distribution at Revolution, but this comes out in that same time period, an equal celebration, we'll say, of the hop season.
That is a high compliment because I love celebration ale. So
I didn't even think about the pun. I didn't even think about the pun.
Celebration.
I just meant a celebration of the hop harvest.
Oh, I thought you were talking about celebration.
So did I know.
Oh no!
It's the celebration.
Unintended puns.
My beer age is showing.
No.
So so yes, it is it is one of our big hop celebrations in the year, and I think right around when that harvest is coming out, people are starting to get they're starting to get the itch for that really high ABV fun Imperial IPA around that time. I know I am. So yeah.
I don't know, those things kind of come in, we were talking, if you don't like pumpkin beers, fresh hop beers are
What do you
essentially
think?
your autumn beer, like your
Yeah,
seasonal.
yeah.
So yeah,
For sure.
no, delicious, little booze, sweetness to kind of like that's not there in regular Anti-Hero.
Yeah, definitely.
Went through 2 4-packs of this real quick.
Maybe too fast.
So let's talk about Anti-Hero real quick. Even like Midwest IPA, it was fun to talk about the brewers about that. What is your kind of elevator synopsis of the Midwest IPA for people who have no idea that's a thing?
Yeah, it's I think for me, I always find the Midwest IPA to have a little bit more of that grapefruit instead of the pine. I feel like if you're the more I'm drinking from the West Coast, I also feel like true West Coast IPAs are going to be a little bit maltier, a little bit sweeter. I don't get that as much in a typical Midwest IPA.
Okay.
So a little bit more on the grapefruit and a little drier is kind of how I see the Midwest happening.
That's not a bad thing.
Right, and the Great Lake Michigan water.
Yeah.
That adds that extra crispness, that extra.
Right. And West Coast had their, East Coast got theirs. I mean, come on. We need an invite to the party too.
Right.
Right?
Got to make something our own, right?
Fly over to have an IPA.
You're right.
A fly PA.
Hey.
All right.
We're onto something here.
Yep.
Second beer was one of my favorite beers to buy and sample while writing the article. We're talking Infinity Hero. Not quite, I guess not quite West Coast, not quite hazy is the idea, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a hazy in our lineup. So this was actually more of the bridge in between that we wanted to achieve. But also going at it
pretty.
a different angle. It is. It's a beautifully colored beer. 7% I think is, the best ABV you can have on an IPA. I think it lends just enough booze.
The
It
sweet
lends,
stuff.
it lends
Some of
just
this is
enough
the
to.
magic number, I think.
Yeah, and it keeps it. I think it keeps drinkers interested as well.
Mm-hmm.
Infinity Hero is super fun because a lot of your hazies really get onto those tropical notes and get really like passion fruit, pineapple, which is the hallmark of our hazy IPA that we do. We wanted to go at it a different angle, so we chose stone fruit as kind of the main, so you get like citrus and pine in your Midwest or your West Coast IPAs. This one, the stone fruit, we really wanted to go through as like the big fruit play in it to draw people in. So
Like peach, pear. What I get big time, nectarine.
a lot of nectarine.
What I'm getting here that maybe I don't even think I got the first time around having it, melon. Like there's like a cantaloupe-y,
Yes.
kind of almost like borderline vanilla in its creaminess, but like it's an aroma creaminess, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so Nectaron's really Nectaron's gonna lend that like heavy like stone fruit character. The 586. So we're gonna talk about Black Stack for just a second because they did an amazing triple IPA that I got to try that had the 586 in it, and so that melon character, that's that fruit punch character I'm talking about from the Black Stack triple that they did that was just a single hop of the HBC 586.
Okay.
That's that melon character you're getting. And I'm glad that we could pick that out because it's I'd been searching for it too. I was like, where's that 586? There it is.
Okay,
There it is.
so what's the hop bill on this one?
So we got Nectaron, 586, and 1019 are going to be your main drivers, but I believe there's some other
Strata.
There's some strata in there.
Which also has that like fruit burst kind of thing without necessarily being like papaya.
Yes.
And like the thing that everybody kind of thinks of when they think of a fruit these days in a hop.
Right, and Amarillo probably. Yeah,
it's got orangey from the Amarillo, orangey from the Nectaron. My family devours about 3 bags of clementines a week, so like it kind of has a lot of that joy to me.
Yeah.
You were surprised, as was I. There's no flaked adjuncts in this beer to make its semi-hazy appearance.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting, and I think it's why I like it so much is because it isn't so heavy. It isn't so creamy or intense like a lot of the hazy IPAs can get. I really like how dry this stays.
I was gonna say it has a good dry finish and a clean and the bitterness that it's like God, I just want to be Goshen.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Open up the next one. And,
Right, as the name suggests, is we kind of wanted to get the best of both worlds. You know, we wanted to take both worlds and kind of combine them together to create something that anybody and everybody can enjoy. I use this typically as a launching pad at tastings and samplings, so that I can kind of get an idea of like what direction of IPA we want to go with.
Okay,
whether this one or
sure.
hazier, or bitter.
Barometer there.
Yeah, good barometer beer.
How they do get the haze, you have to read the article to see. but it's not flaked adjuncts, which is super cool. We won't talk about it, but we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Fistmas. Or I'm going to say we're not going to drink it, but we can talk about it. Fistmas, your holiday ale, which there's a recipe for. I basically say it's a holiday ale for hopheads. It's not your Great Lakes Christmas ale, but it's in the wheelhouse, but further from the spice rack a little bit.
Right, and that's exactly what I tell people. I say
that's a good way of putting it.
No ingredients in a gram of spicing rack. I think of it more as some people will take like a pot of boiling water and add spices to it to kind of warm up the house. Oh. That's how that's like what the.
Is that like potpourri?
Yeah, kind of, but not like.
I just thought I'd throw
that right.
Out
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what it's called.
Bachelor guys turned out words like potpourri.
So I feel like it does that. It kind of just like warms the house up a little bit. It doesn't, it's not sweet. It's not coming at you with all of the, ingredients you find in cookies. It's not sugary or sweet. Yeah. For hopheads because it does have that nice little bitterness to it.
Yeah.
Ginger and orange peel keeps it nice and dry. I love it as a food beer. I think it's one of the best food beers, especially for the holiday season.
Would be good.
It's dry. That ginger kind of cuts through a lot of things. It's it's not going to leave you full, which I really like as well. It does a lot of cutting of like all the nice like fatty foods that we like during the holidays.
Chippery, did we do this one last year?
Yeah, we did. Go back in time and look at our Christmas beer roundup from last year because Fitty and I tasted it. I mean, we pretty much just said most of the things we said in the video, but I do think we had some other intelligent musings on Fistmas.
Oh, well, we always do.
I believe Fitty did call it Fistmas in the...
I would never pass up that opportunity.
And the can's got like a butt-naked Santa wearing a barrel. I mean, come on, y'all.
Yes.
Happy holidays.
we like to take it serious with our artwork, that's for sure.
So let's go to our final beer, Deth. Clearly a play on Death Star.
Death Star, yes.
Unless you know that the founder or co-founder's name is Josh Deth.
Yes.
So Deth, I am super stoked. Never had this. This is from the Deep Wood Series A. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Boom.
y'all.
B. Tell me, I heard a tidbit today where Doug, your chief marketing officer, was saying Revolution makes and sells more barrel-aged barley wines or releases them through distribution than anyone else. I kind of was like, I wouldn't have known that, but I can't name someone else who I think does more. So it kind of just speaks to the series of the Deep Wood, the importance of it beyond like hops you're known for, but like this barrel program is insane and should get all the credit it has and way more.
Yeah, Marty's a wizard. That's what we say. He's a wizard with it.
It was before this was in the market. I mean, I remember bottle exchanges and stuff. It's like, well, you got Revolution and the barrel series. And
so yeah, let's talk about this English style Imperial Oatmeal Stout.
It's an oatmeal cookie soaked in bourbon. Like this is like, or one of those like oatmeal cream pies like soaked in bourbon. That's exactly what this is to me. It's dessert.
It'd be around 14, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yep. 14.8. 14.9, somewhere in that camp is typically where it's
warming.
Yes, it's cozy.
It's decadent. I know I'm starting to like, I want to take my hat off, but I'm not gonna because these lights are gonna gleam. Talk to me. You've been there. You've seen these barrels. You've probably seen Jim and Marty work there, kind of like collaborative magic. Talk a little bit about the program and its impressiveness.
It's it's one of the most awarded barrel age programs in Illinois. I'm not sure about the United States, but I would reckon it is. It's one of those tried and true programs that still has so much excitement around it. And I think that's what makes it so special is that there's some barrel age releases out there where there's not that same luster anymore. And it's
for sure.
And it's kind of it's so much fun to see the excitement around it, especially as somebody who's worked in the industry for a while and has seen it wane, and seen kind of how it's developed over the years as far as like the want and desire for barrel aged beer. So the fact that this is still such a highly desired product, it's wild to see, and it's I think I say good brewers don't gatekeep. And I think, the fact that they handed over something that is so like special and so like near and dear to us, and it's like, here, have at it, knock yourself out.
It's pretty amazing.
Right?
That, for this caliber of beer and the following that it has, it's like, here everyone, read this article and get the whole recipe for it.
Right.
So decadent. Yeah, even when you just look quickly over the recipe, there's like 2 mashes. There's all these suggestions. Clearly, this is a barrel program. If homebrewers don't have barrels, like, you're not going to be able to like perfect this most likely, but they gave so many tips on just the concept of barrel aging, or at least mimicking barrel aging for the homebrewer.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really fun. I haven't been there to witness it, but when Doug, our chief marketing officer, gets excited about Marty getting excited about a specific blend, something very special he's concocted, it's I can feel that all the way down up here in Minnesota. I'm like, yes, we're gonna. I was like, if Marty's excited, we're excited up here. So
a little warmth in your cold tundra soul.
This is true. we're gonna need it.
One thing I love most is, like, as I was talking to Marty, he was listing off these kind of metrics like malt complexity value and and balance value. So I'm assuming these are like industry wide. I was like, so are these industry wide or revolutionisms? He's like, oh, these are revolution. He's like, we make these up as we've gone through, and like malt complexity value expressed in months equals finishing gravity of particular barrel times months in that barrel. Balance value is like final gravity in degree Plato divided by ABV. It's all these numbers to help them, like...
You guys have your own math.
Yes, that's exactly...
It's a revolution
It
math.
starts with that, but then it always, to his point, it comes down to a sensory. Like, you can't just go on math, and you can't have a robot just be like, I will blend this beer. You're like, now you need trained palates, sophisticated palates. But it blew my mind to know, like, oh, these aren't just some goofballs putting a little bit of beer X into barrels to see if it'll sell.
Your robot impression was so good.
So I hope people check out the article in the magazine or online and really dig into a lot of what you guys put out there, because it was very transparent, very high level nerdery. It wasn't like, well, we'll hold one piece back. So that nobody can make hard beer.
Right, like, even beer fans, I feel like, would get a kick out of this and really enjoy this, because I feel like the amount of information that they give you guys and the way that they, also made it so, and you made it so in your writing, like so like approachable and so like easy to follow. I thought that was great. It's a great article, I think, for homebrewers or beer nerds alike.
What about 2024? Anything non-proprietary or secret that...
I would say really check out our Pursuit of Freedom Sour series coming up in the next year. We got some, I can't say what flavors we're doing, but we do have some new flavors coming out that I'm really excited about. And they're such great beers. If you guys, read about the peach, which is also another beer that's in the article. The Pursuit of Freedom is like our experimental, like, fruit end.
Kind of like fruited kettle sours, right?
So the same, so that same base beer we use to make the Pursuit of Freedoms as well, we'll mix up the fruit combinations in them, though. And the combinations that we got coming out next year, like, absolutely. I was like, be on the lookout for those. Those are going to be so much fun in the summer.
Snozberry? Is it
yes,
snozberry?
It's totally snozberry.
Snozberry.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, I think it's a Super Trooper universe only.
Okay. That's part of the Revolution map,
Pursuit of
too.
Freedom,
They got their
Super
own
Trooper.
language. Well, speaking of Chicago.
Oh, God, if somebody pulls out a bottle of Malort, I will be so happy. Like.
Oh, God, said no one ever.
Said no one
outside of Chicago ever.
Yeah, our governor said
but we would be remiss if we didn't point this out.
Rocking the Malort cap. I love it.
Always got to represent.
I like Malort, man. I was having this conversation a couple weeks ago with someone. Was like,
our governor just called it Chicago's finest beverage. So. So.
Okay.
It's something else.
I'll take his word for it.
All right, we are going way off the rails real quick.
That's right. We had to address the Malort.
Everybody, brew your own. I'll put the links below to the online version. It's also on newsstands. Please check it out. Learn about this awesome brewery. Your footprint's not that big, but I feel like your name is. So hopefully people will look into this. Brew your own if you're in a state that you can't get it. And let us know how it goes for you. Until then.
Yeah, right, grab.
You gotta do them all?
Which is crazy because I didn't even do most of the talking.
Nom.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
This was fun. Anytime.